Hello students, I hope you must have been enjoying learning the concepts of trigonometry with me. I will be dealing with this part involving the questions based on the boundedness of the function and a very special type, as if I am having fx is equal to root of phi x, where both of them are the trigonometric equations. I will be starting with this. Let's start. So the next type of questions that can be framed from this topic is solving the equation with the use of boundedness of a function. Now boundedness is the region, the maximum regions that the trigonometric function can reach. That is, sin x can reach from -1 to +1. That's the extremities it can touch. Same is with cos x, and tan x within a very short span of angular change, it reaches from -infinity to +infinity. So it can achieve all the values of the real number set. Same is with cot x, and for cosec x and sec x, the value has to be more than 1. The absolute value has to be more than 1. Now if I talk in terms of an example, then let's say I have the example is sin cube x minus cos cube x is equal to 1 plus sin x cos x. Now I can write it as sin a cube minus b cube can be written as a minus b, a square plus ab plus b square. So that's what I did on the left hand side. I wrote a minus b, a square plus ab plus b square is equal to 1 plus sin x cos x. Now on the left hand side, if I see the second bracket that I have, sin square x plus cos square x would combine to get 1 plus sin x cos x. So the second bracket would become 1 plus sin x cos x. On the right hand side again I have the same bracket. So either sin x minus cos x is equal to 1, that's why both the sides would be equal, or 1 plus sin x cos x is equal to 0. So these are the two conditions which I can have. So on the basis of which I will try to solve the question. So that gives me, if I try to divide this by root 2 on both sides, I would get 1 by root 2 cos x, 1 by root 2 sin x minus 1 by root 2 cos x is equal to 1 by root 2. Now this is of I can say that this as 1 by root 2 cos x minus 1 by root 2 sin x is equal to minus 1 by root 2. This, the left hand side would be of the form cos of a plus b, that is x plus pi by 4, and on the right hand side I will have cos of, as it's negative, so that will be in the second quadrant. So pi minus pi by 4, that will be 3 pi by 4. I'll write again as x plus pi by 4 to be equal to 2n pi plus minus 3 pi by 4. So that will give me two solutions, as x is equal to 2n pi minus pi by 4 plus minus 3 pi by 4. So x will be either equal to 2n pi, if I consider the positive sign, that is minus pi by 4 plus 3 pi by 4, that would give me minus 2 pi by 4 or pi by 2. So plus pi by 2, or if I consider the negative sign, that will be minus pi. So that would actually mean just 2n pi or 2n minus 1 pi, or odd values of pi. Whereas if I consider the second one, I would have 1 plus sin x cos x is equal to 0. So sin x into cos x would be equal to minus 1. So 2 sin x into cos x would be equal to minus 2. That is, sine of 2x is equal to minus 2. That is not possible, since because of the boundedness of the function sin x, sin 2x, so this value is not possible, because the reason is the boundedness of the function sin 2x would also be lying between +1 and -1, and minus 2 lies outside the region, hence this value is not possible. So the only solutions that I am left with are these solutions that I have achieved from the other equality, that is sin x is either equal to 2n pi plus pi by 2 or 2n minus 1 pi. Next type of questions that can be framed are solution of trigonometric equations of the form fx is equal to root over phi x. So phi x is in itself a function with a root over it, which is equal to fx. So in that case, the logic we apply is if fx is greater than or equal to x, then phi x would be greater than or equal to x, or vice versa. Also, after this, we square both the sides to get f square of x equal to phi x. Let's see with an example. Root over 1 minus cos x is equal to sin x. Now for this to be belonging to the real set, as because of the closure property, so these will be belonging to real numbers. Hence, if these both are possible, that is, this value cannot be negative. 1 minus cos x, if it is negative, there will be a root over it, and hence sin x would be imaginary, and hence cos x would also be imaginary. So I cannot have it as negative, so both the values have to be greater than 0. Hence, if I square both the sides, as in the case, the second step that we just discussed, squaring both the sides to get f square x is equal to phi of x, I get 1 minus cos x is equal to sin square x. Now sin square x can again be written as 1 minus cos square x. So I get the equation as cos square x, 1 minus cos square x is equal to 1 minus cos of x. 1 on both sides would cancel out, the negative signs would be negated, and I would get cos square x minus cos x is equal to 0. That will give me cos x, and cos x minus 1 is equal to 0. So cos x now can have two values, either 0 or 1. So the two solutions that would satisfy this equation would be either 2n pi plus minus pi by 2 or 2n pi. So for these two values, the equation is valid, and these will be the solutions. Now let's have another fun fact, that is 10 square plus 11 square plus 12 square is equal to 13 square plus 14 square. That's a very rare combination, that 5 consecutive numbers are, if arranged in such a manner, that the sum of the square of first 3 numbers is equal to the sum of squares of the last 2 numbers. We have heard of Pythagoras theorem. What about this? Try to form a triangle, keeping the sides as sum of some other part of some other triangles, this being 13 square and this being 13 and 14. So that will make this as 13 square plus 14 square, and hence try to form a right triangle with sides as the hypotenuses of other right triangles. So students, I hope the concept of boundedness of a function as well as the special type of function that we just discussed, I hope are clear to you. In the next part, I'll be taking up with the trigonometric inequalities. Stay tuned.